Hi everyone, it's Crystal, and today's video is going to be a start to finish mesh wreath tutorial. This video is rather long, so I do apologize for that, but I did really want to include all the steps on how I do that, and I wanted to try to make it as clear as possible. So I really hope you enjoy this video because it took me a very long time to get this video edited and get it uploaded to YouTube and everything. Down in the description box below, I will have the start and end time to the best of my ability for different sections of the wreath. So if you just wanted to find out how to add a second mesh to the wreath, I'll have the start and end time for that. Or just by cleaning up the pipe cleaners on the wreath, how to do that, I will have the start and end time to that. So just look down below if you don't want to watch the video all the way through. Like I said, this did take me a lot of time and work to get this video done, but I really hope in the long run that it was worth it, which I think it will, because if one person can learn from this to find out how easy these are to make, it's well worth it. So again, I apologize that it is so very long. If you have any questions, as always, leave me a comment, send me a message. I will try to get back to you as quick as possible, but just do know that sometimes it does take me a few days or sometimes a week because I am not on YouTube every day. So I think that's pretty much it. Like I said, I really hope you guys enjoy the video, and until next time, guys, I will talk to you later. Enjoy. Bye. Okay, so I'm starting out here with a 18-inch wire wreath base, and what I'm going to be using is these pipe cleaners. I think they're also referred to as Chanel stems. I refer to them as pipe cleaners, and I know a lot of people refer to them as pipe cleaners. This package I happened to grab here was a 12-pack, so I needed 2. So as you're looking at this wreath here, you can see those sections of the wreath. I'm going to show you it a little better right in here. Okay, see that? Those sections right there? That's what I refer to as sections, between one line and the other line. Right there. In between each of those, I consider sections. Then in each of those sections, you have 4 lines going through it. Okay? Right here. Those are the 4 lines. So I'm going to start out here with, I work my way from the inside out. So as soon as my finger gets pointing to where I need it to point to, I'll tell you. I probably should have sped this up, maybe half times. So anyways, you want to go ahead and grab your pipe cleaners. Now, what I do here, that's considered line 1, line 2, line 3, and line 4. So, I'm not going to do anything on line 1. I'm going to work on line 2. Then I'm going to go ahead and put a pipe cleaner on here. And I'm sure you could probably hear my kitty cat in the background. And all you do to put these on here is you just wrap them around. That's all you do, just to secure them on there. You can secure them on there any way you want. I prefer to twist them, and then I go back around again from the bottom, like this, to the top, and then I take the other side again, wrap it around there again from the bottom to the top, and then I give it another twist. So you can do it any way you want. There's no right or wrong how to do this. That's just how I do it. And I'm going to show you there. That's how it looks from the back. And I'll also leave you know right up front. Sometimes I can secure them so good on there that they won't move, and other times they will move. So I'm going to go ahead here and skip line 3, and I'm going to put that second pipe cleaner on line 4. And I put it on the exact same way that I have done the first one. I get it on there, and then I try to even it up. I twist, then I wrap it around again, and then I'll twist again. And I left this at real-time speed, just so you could see it. I don't know. That's just the way I did it. So this is going to be a long video, guys, so I apologize. But I really wanted to try to do this tutorial the best that I could do it, and this is just how it worked out. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead here again at real time and show you this one more time. So in between these little wires right there, I considered sections, okay? These I consider lines. We have 4 lines. There's 1, line 2 is right there. I put a pipe cleaner on there. And then when I'm working with my wreath, that pipe cleaner I'm putting on right there, I consider the inside, okay? So I put it on there, I even it out, I twist it, and then I wrap it around one more time, and then I'll twist one more time. Okay, we're going to go ahead and we're going to skip that 3rd line, and we're going to put it on the 4th line. And that 4th line I consider the outside of the wreath. So when I'm putting my mesh on, and if I'm talking to you guys, I'm saying inside, you'll know it's that first one we put on, and then the outside I consider this one I'm putting on here right now. So once again, I put that pipe cleaner on, I even it out, I twist it, then I wrap it around, and then I give it a nice twist again. You don't have to wrap it around if you don't want to. I just like doing it that way. That's just the way I do it. Like I said, there's no right or wrong reason. It's just do what you want. So I'm going to go ahead here and I'm going to fast forward up the video, and you're just going to see me putting the rest of these pipe cleaners on each section. So as I had already told you guys, sometimes I can get those pipe cleaners on there really tight and they won't move or budge, and sometimes there's a lot of wiggle room. It really just depends on the I don't know what it depends on, to be honest with you. Sometimes it just works out that way. So what I'm going to do now is just go ahead and insert a little bit of music until I get to the next step, and then I will be right back. Okay, now that we have all of our pipe cleaners in place, we're going to go ahead and start putting the mesh in. So what I do is I just gather up, to start this first out, I gather up a little piece and I stick it in between, I open the pipe cleaner up, stick it in between there, and I just twist it. Just a couple twists to secure it in there pretty tight. That's how I started out. Then what I do is I grab a few inches of the mesh, just like that. I don't measure it. I just, sometimes it's a lot, sometimes it's a little. It just depends on the look. But I at least would probably try to grab anywhere between 4 to 6 inches. Grab the mesh in your one hand, tighten it, and you can even twist it if you want. Stick it in between an open pipe cleaner and twist that pipe cleaner shut. And that is pretty much all you have to do with this. So what I'm going to do is break in here and actually come from another angle to show you guys.
I wanted to give you a little bit of a different angle. As you can see right here, I'm still set up with my tripod and still recording. But really not for sure how it's turning out. So with my phone here, I'm recording this part to add into the video. So as you can see here, I've got 3 of the poofs done. I call them poofs. I don't know whatever you want to call them. So you want to try to roll off about a few inches of the mesh wreath, and what you want to do is after you get that rolled up or pulled off and bundled up, you want to take and twist it into your pipe cleaners. So as you can see here, I just wanted to give you a little bit of a different angle so you can see. And as you're working with this right now, this is going to get pushed down. That's fine. Once you get done putting all your mesh around the wreath, is then when you're going to want to take the time and fluff it up a little bit before you start putting your embellishments on it. So, and this does break your nails, as you can see here, but it's worth it. So I can't hold my phone and actually put one of these things together, but the key is, and the secret to doing this, and sorry guys, it's going to be shaky, is you want to keep your roll of mesh on your work surface, and I just leave it here and I just pull it as I need it. And say this is going to be a bunch right here, so I pull it, I bunch it up like this, and I stick it in the middle of that pipe cleaner, and then I twist it. And I work from the inside of the wreath to the outside. So this will be more or less towards the middle. But, you know, you fluff it up and mess around with it after you get all your mesh onto there. Alright, so I'm going to go ahead and end this part of the video and insert it into the other part where I'm currently at in the video now. So I hope this, if you have any questions, I hope this sort of explained it a little bit better. And it just gave you a different angle of how I'm working, because I'm actually standing, you can see here, there's my table, and I'm actually standing like right here, and I'm working that way. Okay. Here was something else I'm going to insert into the video here. Like I said, this was the cheaper mesh that I bought. And if you can see right here, there's some runners going into it. And this is one of the things I don't like about this mesh. I'm trying to get close so you can see. You can't really see it, but like right in here you can sort of see it. This is what I'm talking about with the weave. You know, once the wreath's done, it's not going to be noticeable at all. But just for my preference, I really don't care for that too much. And as you can see, this weave is very open weave. There we go. And with the luxury mesh, it's supposed to be a much tighter... I'm so sorry, guys. I'm not being so sick. But the luxury... mesh is supposed to be a much tighter weave. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and record this back into, or insert this into the video. But I just wanted to show you guys that that is normal with the cheaper mesh. Now that I'm almost done putting the mesh on the inside of the wreath, I have this one here that's left. That's my only empty one. And then it's going to take me to the very beginning of the first one that I put in right here. So what I'm going to go ahead and do is put the mesh into this one right here. And then I'm going to take this mesh and go right back into, oops, right back into the first one. Then, as you can see here in this first one, then after we get done with putting that mesh back into that very first one, it's going to be our first one and our last one, we want to work our way to the outside. Now, you can go right to here if you want. I don't do that. I go on an angle. So I'll go, here's my last one. So instead of doing it in that same section as that first one, I'm going to go down a section to here. So I hope I explained that. So I'm going to go ahead, finish the mesh through this one, back into the first one, and then I'm going to go on an angle to work my way onto the outside. And then I'm just going to go ahead and do the whole outside the same way that I did the inside. Okay?
Okay, so I'm just putting this mesh into these pipe cleaners just as I just told you I was going to do. Now, the reason, or what I wanted to tell you guys was when I go into that next one, was the one that I started in. That little tail there, I don't cut none of that off. I just leave it in there, and it blends right in. You can't tell that where the stopping and ending point was. So when I put this next bunch of mesh in right there, it covers up that beginning piece, and it hides it. So that's what's really nice about these mesh wreaths. They are very, very forgiving. You can't even tell that's where the start point was. So now here we're going to go to the outside. So I'm just taking a bunch, or I'm gathering up some of this mesh, getting a bunch of it, and I'm sticking it into that outside one that was like diagonal. It was in the next section. And you can't even, honestly guys, I mean, it's just flawless. Like when you're looking at it, you can't even tell where you start and stop with that. So the next step here is just to continue to work all the way around the outside of that wreath, bunching it up just how you did on the inside. And when I come to the end part of that, the last few ones, I will jump back in here and do tell you guys how to do that. But until then, I'll just put a little bit of music on, and I will see you at the next clip.
Okay, now that I am working on the outside, I'm just about done here. I have this one left to do. This is my last empty one, and then it's going to take me back up to where I started on the outside. So what I'm going to do is put the mesh in this one. Then I'm also going to run it down here to end in this one. So be the first one on the outside that I did. And once I get it in there, it's just going to be a little bit, and I'll clip it off and trim it down, and it will just blend right into with this other mesh. So that's how I start and stop my mesh.
Okay guys, while I'm finishing up this last little piece right here, I'll have some mesh left over. Don't throw that mesh away because you can do these wreaths other ways. And I just collect mine, and I plan on doing one with all the colors I have left over. Alright, so now that I got that last one in that empty one, what I'm going to just do is eyeball it to see how much I'm going to need and just cut it off. See, there's all that extra mesh I had left over. And then I'm going to bunch it up and stick it in that pipe cleaner that we started with on the outside. Put it in there, twist it, and then I'm going to take and I'm going to cut that off again. And don't worry about it. Like I said, it's not going to be noticeable, so That's all you have to do.
Okay, now that you have your base of mesh all the way around your wreath, it's time to go ahead and add in your second mesh you want to add in. What I'm going to do with this one is, instead of doing all on the inside and then working my way on the outside as I'd previously done with the paint, I think what I'm going to do is do one on the inside, then work my way to the outside, one on the outside, and then one back in the inside, one back on the outside, one back on the inside, one back on the outside, all the way around the wreath. I'm going to do that. I'm going to try to see how that looks this time with this mesh. And then I'm also going to do that same exact step with the ribbon as well. There's no right or wrong on how to make these wreaths. It's just whatever you feel like doing and wherever your creativity takes you. So I think that's what I'm going to do this time around, instead of doing every single one. Well, I don't know. I might do... I don't know. You're just going to have to stay tuned if you want to find out. Because I'm not for sure how I want to do this. I might do maybe one... I mean, there's no right or wrong. You just do whatever you want. Whatever you think is going to make your wreath look good. So I'm going to go ahead and get started with this layer. And then do the ribbon. And then after that, then it's ready to go ahead and start decorating. And this is hard to film because, like I said... Keep that a little... Like I said, these things start out so small, but by the time you get done with them, they are so big. And that's what's nice about them, is that they're very full. So I'm going to go ahead and start working this ribbon in. And you know what? What you want to do, though, is you don't want to start and stop in the same place where you did with your first layer. So I'm going to start over here. That's just the way so your threads don't all bulk up in the same area. Your start and stopping points. So I'm going to go ahead here, and I'm going to try to record this, but I really don't know how much are going to be able to see because, like I said, it just bulks up so much. And I keep having to move my camera to find a good angle for you, and it's really hard. So I hope this turns out for you guys. And that last mesh in, and before I go ahead and add in the ribbon, what I'm going to go ahead and do now is go ahead and sort of get it fluffed out a little bit to the way that I want to like start shaping it. And it's very easy to do. Just move your mesh around, and you see any like bare spots, you just puff out the mesh. It should cover up those bare spots. But also when you put the embellishments on, those will help hide any bare spots that you have as well. So I'm liking the way that's looking now. What I'm going to go ahead and do is, and I did just take that last mesh and I just went one on the inside, one on the outside, one on the inside, one on the outside. Now what I'm going to go through and do now is with my ribbon, is the ones that on the inside that doesn't have the white mesh, I'm going to put the ribbon, and then the ones on the outside, I'm going to do the same exact step that I did here with the white, except it's just going to be in the other pipe cleaners. It doesn't have any of the white mesh into there. And again, when you're adding stuff into your wreath like this, you always want to make your stopping point and your ending point at different points. You don't want to keep them all in the same pipe cleaners, because then that will help hide. You see right here is where my end is. And this will just hide and blend right in with that mesh. Steps to finish up your wreath before embellishing it is very simple. What we want to do now, I'm not going to use the pipe cleaners for anything else. So what I want to do is hide those pipe cleaners so they're not visible from the front of the wreath. And this is very easy to do. It's just a pain in the butt. So what you do is flip your wreath over, and you can see where your pipe cleaners are. I just grab one, take it around the front, and take the other one around the back of the wreath, like so. So they're both your ends are at the back. And then what you want to do is twist, just like what we've been doing this whole entire time. Just twist these pipe cleaners, and then I take and I wrap it around the wire that is on the wreath itself. So you want to do that all the way around your wreath, and then after you finish that up, I just have a couple more to do on here because I did all these other ones. I just got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay. No, I got 4 more to do. No. 1, 3. So I'll just do those here. And I'll just keep this at regular speed so you can see. So I just grab it from the front. You can fill them up there. Pull one towards the back, and then pull the other one the other way towards the back. So you have your 2 pipe cleaners. And again, twist. And this also just secures in the mesh as well, so it's not turning or moving around. And then take and wrap them around your wires that is on your wreath. And these are my last 2. And then as you're making your wreath, you sort of want to have, you want to be aware of where you want the top of your wreath at and what you want it to be the bottom. So I had decided when I was flipping this over that the piece where I ended right here with my ribbon I want that to be the top. I like the way that looked. Every time it's different. It all just depends on how the mesh is spread out and things like that. And again, guys, there's no right or wrong way to do these wreaths. It's whatever your creativity takes you to. Actually, let me do these two over here. I mean, you see these people selling these at Michael's, and they're like 80 bucks, 100 bucks. On Etsy, I've seen one on Etsy for like $150, $185. That's just outrageous. I mean, I could see, honestly, no, I can't. I cannot see that price tag of that. That's just crazy. If you have $185 to blow on a wreath, hey, more power to you. Me personally, I'd rather take that $185 and buy more craft supplies and make the wreath myself. And this probably costed me maybe $20, $25 tops to make this. It all just depends on what kind of mesh you use, how much embellishments you use, and everything like that. Okay, so last one here. Again, and if you need to look at it, that's fine. So pull one towards the back through the front way, and then one through the back way. Twist. Take your extra and wrap it around your wreath form, and you are done. And again, this is going to be my front, or my top of my wreath, so I just want to leave that there so I'm aware. So that's my top. After that's done, flip it over, and this whole thing is not even going to be in frame because it is huge. Hold on a second. I lost the top of my wreath. Okay, so right there is the top of my wreath. So the next step you want to do is go ahead and start putting your embellishments on and finding a way that will, what's the top? Yeah. That's gonna look interesting to your eyes. Let me try seeing if I can move my camera around, because I know the way you're looking at it's on a weird angle there. Let me see how that looks now. Well, still crooked a little bit. Okay, like I said, this is too big for me to even fit the whole thing in the frame. So it may not look even through the camera, but for me looking at it, it's even. So as I said earlier, I had picked up this Happy Valentine's and I wanted to put that in the middle. I knew that from the start of it. I picked up these sprays, which after looking at the wreath, I don't think I'm going to use them. But I do want to include these hearts that I painted and wrote on them. So I'm just going to go ahead and arrange everything on here. And what I'm going to go ahead and do is just fast forward through this. And actually what I'm going to do is just turn off the video, and I'll be back after I get everything, after I get all my embellishments laid out and glued on. And then I will be back to show you what the end results are. Okay, everybody, so this is the wreath. It's done, as you can see here. And I actually had to take it back off the tripod and stand on a chair so I can get it all in frame for you. So the last step again was just hot gluing down those little heart embellishments. And all in all, if you don't take any breaks and just go straight through and do this, it probably takes about an hour. But I take a lot of breaks and talk a lot, and so it takes me a couple hours. But if you just work right through it, an hour tops, and you'll save yourself a lot of money making them on your own. So if you have any questions, again, I know I said this at the beginning of the video, just send me a private message, comment, get me on Facebook, Instagram. However, I'm usually on Instagram's usually the best way to get a hold of me because I'm on that probably about 4 or 5 times a day. But that's it, everybody. So I hope you like it. I hope this tutorial came out all right. But yeah, so that's my Valentine's Day mesh wreath. And until next time, guys, I will talk to you later. Bye.